Welcome everybody here to your official coverage of the ESWC. Myself, Tobi1, will be here for all 3 days of the ESWC, stretching from Sunday, going on Monday, and then ending with our finals on the Tuesday. We are doing nothing but group number 1 for this entire day. So our first match will be Virus versus Monkey. Also starting off at this time was SGC versus Moscow 5. That game has already started, but we're sticking around for this one. So without any further ado, let's jump ourselves into the game. This will be the game screen, which you'll get to see for basically all of the tournament. I will be here shoutcasting it for that, and I'll be down here in this little box down here in case you ever want to find me. Our two teams which you're going to have facing up today is Virus. They are the boys from France going up against the Danish superstars. And that's right, they are the guys representing the Danish guys ever since MYM disbanded because they were basically a Danish primarily based team. They'll be playing for the dire side, so being led by Miguel, Miguel Calculus, Sushi Rise, and Angel. Sushi is actually somebody else completely different. I believe they're actually using a stand-in for this tournament, but we'll check that. GG will be our drafter for the Radiant. There's also Sock, and I think Sock actually has a lot. Majumbas, MDJ, 769, and then, of course, the guy who is bucking mad. I'm replacing the F with a B for this one just to make it a little bit more sensitive for the kids. All right, so let's check it out. Banned so far, Lich as well as Spectra, Prophet as well as Night Stalker. They are the two banned so far. Nothing out of the ordinary whatsoever as far as our current metagame goes for the world of Dota 2. Prophet, one of the most overpowered heroes in the game. The ability to push, the ability to farm, the ability to gank. Anything you need him to do, he can do, and that is why he has been removed. Night Stalker also, if any of you actually watched the international coverage from Cologne at Gamescom, obviously you'll be remembering me from there. I was the broadcaster for that tournament with Slash, who hopefully will be joining us a little bit later on today as well. But we would have also remembered Night Stalker, very, very powerful hero, that silence, that slow, and just all-around ganking kind of guy when it comes to the nighttime. Weak during the daytime, but nighttime makes it all worthwhile. Spectra, one of the best hard carries in the game. The Dire actually picking up the second best hard carry in the game, being Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage, also, just to actually run through a couple of things, I'll run through a couple of abilities. I won't be doing them all like we normally do here at Join Dota. We're going to make everything very tutorial kind of style. We're going to have a little bit of that today, as well as a little bit of the pro stuff. So Anti-Mage, he is one of the hardest heroes to actually kill early on in the game, not to mention later on in the game. Early on in the game, because at level 1, you already have your blink. You can move yourself any direction as long as you got the mana to actually do so, and it lets you escape out of a lot of ganks if you can see them coming. Even if you don't, blink will still be there. It's not like the Mirana leap where you're going to be facing a certain direction then leap yourself out. It's just basically, I want to go there, let's make it so, like Captain Kirk kind of style. Anti-Mage also destroys enemy heroes, mainly because it's not just because he's, a big damage dealer being an Agi hero, he's also burning mana with every single slice. So heroes like Weaver have a very, very hard time up against Anti-Mage because he loses all his mana, he can't Shuki, he can't do anything, and that basically kills off a hero when you can't cast a single ability, unless you can tank and deal the damage straight on like as the same damage or higher than Anti-Mage. So always a bit of a challenge for that one. Anti-Mage, of course, the second he removes all the mana Void comes through, sucks out the rest of the life. So, yeah, really, really big hero for the Dire already picked up. The Radiant picking up Ancient Apparition, who is probably one of the best global presences inside the game right now. So Ancient Apparition able to throw out that ultimate anywhere on the map. If you drop below 10% of your HP, you will die. In fact, you will actually known as the word shatter. He's also great for early game harassment if you can couple it with a second stun, and that's what we get from Vengeful Spirit. So Vengeful Spirit, great initiator. We'll throw that magic missile out, so it's an exact stun, target it on, boom, off she goes, and you couple that with the Cold Feet. So Cold Feet, if you run away fast enough, then you don't get affected by it, but if you don't get away fast enough after it's cast on you, you'll get locked in place by a big wall of ice. So yeah, the VS Sun sets it up. Also the negative armor to come out from VS. Not too bad as well if you actually got to just drop down a couple people, a little bit less on the life, and that way Ancient Apparition ulti can actually have its full effect. So at this point, as far as the Radiant go, they've got their options pretty open. The Dire actually picking up Mirana, Hovost, the player from Na'Vi, who we'll be actually seeing tomorrow. Na'Vi get to play tomorrow, so we'll get to watch them play. Yay! Not that I have any favorites. I actually have no favorites for this. I just love watching Hovost play Mirana and Puppy play Chen. It's just a personal preference. But yes, Mirana is now picked up for the Dire. Great side solo, and that's more than likely what she'll be doing for the Dire, so you'll probably see Mirana down the bottom lane. We have seen a couple of games recently where Mirana has actually gone solo mid, and then has actually gone for a little bit more of a roam, so it goes early bottle, that way she can pick up those runes and then move between the two lanes and use those extra abilities you actually get from those runes, which is, well, awesome. It's absolutely fantastic when you actually can couple off a DD rune. You've got regeneration, so you can really extend yourself out, escape out, pop the regen, and then you're good as Larry again because you go back to full life as well as full mana once the regen rune has already done its job. Yep, so just turn up your own volume. Actually, oh, okay. So you can't actually hear me over everybody else. So before it's because I'm too quiet, now it's because I'm too loud. The volume is now turned up for you guys. Thank you very much to the guys as well who are actually over in the IRC chat. The IRC, if you want to go and join them, is on QuakeNet, #JoinDota, and you guys can check them up there. So, yeah, good job, perfect. I like to see that, guys. I like to see that. I took out one of my earpieces because it was actually so low I couldn't hear myself properly. So, yeah, good to see that's actually working now. So, let's have a look. Crystal Maiden's come up from the Dire, so in case they weren't actually burning enough mana out from the Radiant, Crystal Maiden with her global brilliance aura will actually give... Well, actually, it's not called Brilliance Aura. It got changed in the world of Dota 2. They actually changed the name up because it was actually covered by Warcraft 3, I believe. So, yes, she does have the Brilliance Aura. It's not what she's actually known for at the moment, though. Crystal Maiden kind of went from that whole role of I just sit at the back and you get my aura of mana regeneration for the entire map. It's a global effect. Instead of actually having that now, you know, she does actually have that. It just got dropped down a little bit. She's known more for being a little bit more aggressive. So the Frost Nova very early on, the Pete, it's a big AoE slow as well as burst damage. They increase the damage. The slow stay the same, but it's the extra damage you get early on. So by level 2, you also actually have a stun as well as a nuking slow. And that's what makes Crystal Maiden such a great support hero because she can be actually involved in those lanes early on. Also being a ranged support hero means she can also harass down the other heroes. Like we see Tidehunter now picked up by the Radiant. He has a little bit harder time early on the piece because he's a melee hero. He's got to go forward. He can't really harass a hero back, so he's more of a ganking kind of role. And he does get that through his Gush. So the Gush also adds a slow, also adds damage, also adds the negative armor on the back of it too. So makes Tidehunter a pretty useful ganker early on the piece, just not a good lane harasser. He is a tank, however, with that Kraken shell. It makes life a living hell to actually try and kill him. But what makes him actually a living hell for the opposition is the big Ravage ability. So as an ultimate, you've seen many of them actually happen through all games of Dota 2 of the International, because Tidehunter was picked up a fair amount. And Tidehunter basically stuns everything in your vision around him. Yeah. It is a big AoE stun. Really helps actually control up those team fights. The Dire now actually banning out Dro Ranger, and we see Puck being banned out by Radiant. Now, a lot of people will probably go, hang on, Dro Ranger. Dro Ranger hardly even appeared at the International. Why would she even be ban material right now? And the main reason for that is the Dire are trying to remove out the agility carries. They know that Radiant don't want to be picking up Weaver. If they pick up Weaver, then they've got to deal with Anti-Mage taking it away, and that's a good counter for them. So they still want to actually shut down any of the damage the Dire can do. They've already taken out Spectra. They've already taken out now Dro Ranger. Dro Ranger also has that silence ability on them too, so if they actually get that silence off, it's very hard. Obviously, you can't use any abilities, so Anti-Mage and Mirana lose their escape mechanisms. So that's a big thing. So they're taking away the silence from Dro Ranger, as well as the damage, as well as the Frost harassment. So, yep, take her out, remove out the Agi. Puck also being removed out by the Radiant. A good hero to remove considering how much mana there actually is on the Dire side because of that Crystal Maiden. It's a very, I wouldn't say mana intensive. Actually, it's a pretty mana intensive lineup for the Dire if they did pick that up. And then we would have actually seen Mirana go towards that mid and Puck would have gone the solo bottom lane. At this point, unless we see Clockwork Goblin banned out as the fourth one, the Dire would just pick that up. That'll be a good actually swap over, and that way he can spam up his rockets without a mana to be on the field as well. Enigma being removed out by the Dire. It should actually see Chen as well as Enchantress both getting past the ban pull at this point too. No neutral is out from either side, which is very unusual for the world of Dota. Most of the time you do actually see one hero in the neutrals, especially if Chen's able to be picked up because of that global heal, because he can actually convert those creeps, make them bigger, make them stronger, and basically dominate everything on the map with them, as well as savior heroes as well. It's an all-round kind of like great hero, but he is not going to be picked up in this one just yet. Venomancer are actually coming up from the Dire, so a little bit of, well, it's actually anti-push as well as harassment, depending how Venomancer is played. A couple of times during the International, we did see the Venomancer actually run when he was played by the Dire on the solo top lane, and they just let him farm up, and that was actually played by Scythe. Scythe actually left Ice actually up in that top lane to actually play that role, and they used him more to actually just leave him alone so he can get those wards up to level 4, and he pushed, in a sense, similar to what Broodmother currently does in the world of Dota 1. Broodmother, of course, was actually added in recently to the last patch, if you were keeping up with the patch notes for the world of Dota. Skeleton King, Broodmother, as well as Queen of Pain were actually all added into the pool. They will not be available for the ESWC tournament. They are not available in the Captain's mode. Doombringer actually coming up from the Radiant. So I was talking about the fact that Anti-Mage is going to burn the crap out of all of your mana, and you need someone who can either tank it or deal the damage back, and that is exactly why Doombringer is picked up right now. Anti-Mage will be burning the living crap out of his mana, but Doombringer is not a big mana hero. He's a strength hero, but he can cast as well, and he can also grab up a couple more abilities through his Devour, and that is what's going to be big. And the Dire actually picking up Shadow Shaman, which is funny. I actually mentioned what happened with Scythe the other time, because the two options they actually had for their top solo were Rasta as well as Venomancer. That was what they generally did during the group stage as well as the round of 16 and back at the International. So Venomancer and Rasta coming up now. So interesting to see how they actually run this. Veno at this point will more than likely actually be walking around with Crystal Maiden looking for ganks. Anti-Mage up on the top, Mirana on the bottom, and Shadow Shaman will be going solo mid just to actually try and get his levels up. Shadow Shaman, a big pusher through those Serpent wards, but he needs to get to level 6 early on the piece, then he can push down his towers. So that's the important thing for him. The Radiant are looking at their lineup right now going, okay, we've got good slow, we've got good AoE damage. If we get the AA ulti off right, we've got extra damage as well, but we need a pure damage dealer. Who is it going to come from? They've already taken out a lot of the big agi heroes. Do we try with, actually they're going to go with Windrunner. So in this lineup, we've actually only got one agility hero on the entire Radiant side, and that is actually the Vengeful Spirit. The Vengeful Spirit being a support hero, however, or most people play her as a support hero. Yeah, is not going to be their big damage dealer. I don't know if we're actually going to disconnect. I don't know if they actually fixed the problem with the Captain's mode. So we might actually have ourselves a very quick remake as the game finally just counts down and says, oh, hang on, yeah, all 5 heroes are here. Because it does actually require the team to actually select those heroes before we actually get playing. All right, so I'm also just checking up on my messages as well. And we are going to get ourselves into the game. Good luck, have fun, comes out from Calculus. He'll be playing as our Venomancer. And in case you did just join us, welcome to ESWC. As you can see, it's over on, well, that side of the screen. On the other side of the skills, you can see it over there. ESWC is what we're covering. Myself, Tobi1, bringing you your broadcast all day long, man. All day long. All 3 days long. That's right, not just one, not just 2. They decided to go 3 days and into the week. It's a good thing this is my job to actually cast this kind of stuff, because that means I don't have my day job. If people actually do want to check out these games, though, when you do get stuck at work during this time, the VODs will be available over at joindota.com/VODs. I'll get them uploaded as fast as I possibly can. It's all going through the studio here, so it might take until the night before they're actually available. So let's actually run through our lineup. Sushi74, he'll be our anti-mage on the top. They're already going to start off with our first initiate on the top. It's tri-lane on tri-lane, boys and girls, up on the top lane. And Frost actually going out the Vengeful Spirit as well as the Gale. Cackle's already initiating. Anti-Mage will blink on the Vengeful Spirit, not before he actually gets stunned by the VS. He's already gushed up by the Tide Hunter, but there's actually now 4 heroes here. Miguel wants to come in to help out. The Virus will retreat back out again. And the game getting paused up by Miguel. That was actually added in our recent patch. Thank God for that, in case there's actually some issues. Miguel tried to actually come in towards the mid there. So Miguel is actually going to go our mid solo, but just expecting that game to actually happen up on that top lane very early on in the piece. Well, hotkeys aren't working. That does actually happen from now and then. You just have to actually just log out of the game and then restart the game up, and the hotkeys actually work again. As I will actually point out many times during this tournament, the game is still in beta. ESWC, however, have decided to actually pick it up. So our hotkeys are actually working. Miguel will head back in towards the middle lane, and we'll run through our dry lane. So Riot's playing as support, Crystal Maiden, Calculus playing as, well, he can go both ways, but in this line, Venomancer will be playing as support to actually help the anti-mage 1 farm, 2 have free farm, and 3 get some kills. Shadow Shaman in the middle lane, Miguel, and wow, did Tobi just get his laning right? I think he just did. Pro. Angel will be on that bottom lane, playing as Mirana. He'll be going up against fucking Mad on the bottom lane, playing as the Doombringer, a solo Doombringer as well. Not surprising to actually see that happen, considering, obviously, Mirana she's hard enough to kill in that bottom lane. You want to have as few people down here as possible. Doombringer's going to take a lot of harassment, but that's why that stout shield as well is already with 1 salve and 3 tangos. Continuous life regen for him, not to mention his Scorched Earth ability if he actually wants it. But he's starting off with Devour to keep his money actually coming up a little bit higher, as well as giving himself a couple of extra abilities if he wants to. Top lane is where the first blood is more than likely actually going to happen, or at least when these guys actually roam out. At this point, though, it's really up for Titan to get close to him. 3 range heroes going up against him, and 1 with that poisonous attack on slow. You've got to be really careful. I'll get them uploaded as fast as I possibly can. It's all going through the studio here, so it might take until the night before they're actually available. So let's actually run through our lineup. Sushi74, he'll be our anti-mage on the top. They're already going to start off with our first initiate on the top. It's tri-lane on tri-lane, boys and girls, up on the top lane. And Frost actually going out the Vengeful Spirit as well as the Gale. Cackle's already initiating. Anti-mage will blink on the Vengeful Spirit, not before he actually gets stunned by the VS. He's already gushed up by the Tide Hunter, but there's actually now 4 heroes here. Miguel wants to come in to help out. The Virus will retreat back out again. And the game getting paused up by Miguel. That was actually added in our recent patch. Thank God for that, in case there's actually some issues. Miguel tried to actually come in towards the mid there. So Miguel is actually going to go our mid solo, but just expecting that game to actually happen up on that top lane very early on the piece. Well, hotkeys aren't working. That does actually happen from now and then. You just have to actually just log out of the game and then restart the game up and the hotkeys actually work again. As I will actually point out many, many times during this tournament, the game is still in beta. ESWC, however, have decided to actually pick it up. So our hotkeys are actually working. Miguel will head back in towards the middle lane and we'll run through our dry lane. So Riot's playing as support, Crystal Maiden, Calculus playing as, well, he can go both ways, but in this line, Venomance will be playing as support to actually help the anti-mage. 1, farm, 2, have free farm, and 3, get some kills. Shadow Shaman in the middle lane, Miguel, and wow, did Tobi just get his laning right? I think he just did. Pro. Angel will be on that bottom lane, playing as Mirana. He'll be going up against fucking Mad on the bottom lane, playing as the Doombringer, a solo Doombringer as well. Not surprising to actually see that happen, considering, obviously, Mirana, she's hard enough to kill in that bottom lane. You want to have as few people down here as possible. Doombringer's going to take a lot of harassment, but that's why that stout shield as well is already with 1 salve and 3 tangos. Continuous life regen for him, not to mention his Scorched Earth ability if he actually wants it. But he's starting off with Devour to keep his money actually coming up a little bit higher, as well as giving himself a couple of extra abilities if he wants to. Top lane is where the first blood is more than likely actually going to happen, or at least when these guys actually roam out. At this point, though, it's really up for Titan to get close to him. 3 range heroes going up against him, and 1 with that poisonous attack on slow. You've got to be really careful. He has no hex, he has no nothing, and Doombringer able to run back out fast enough. So Miguel moving out of the lane for absolutely nothing. He doesn't get the experience from the illusions that were here. So Sok has some extra time, and then is forced to actually TP back into the base as a big walk for very, very little game. Already coming back, though, cold feet, forcing Miguel to run away. He actually doesn't walk away far enough, and that's that effect I was telling you about. Gets locked in the cold feet, takes a little bit of damage from that, but he just pop off those bottle charges and feel a little bit more happier about life. Sok forced to use a lot of mana for that, but both heroes actually running bottles. So as far as Miguel actually moving out, every 2 minutes the room will actually spawn up. So we'll see it actually spawn up again in about 5 seconds' time. Once again, he doesn't want to walk that far away. It's a bit of a catch-22. If you walk too far away, unless you want to, hello, hey, stream for Calculus. And Miguel's on his way up there to actually pick that up. So Rune Control coming out for Monkey on the Dire lineup. Yeah, as I was saying, when you actually move out of the middle lane and you actually go, oh, I'll gank up top lane, I'll gank up bottom lane. If you pick up a rune, it makes it worth it because you can stay on the front lines, you can harass a lot more, and you keep the pressure on a crap load more. Like Miguel, almost up to level 6 as well. Once he actually pops level 6, you drop the Serpent Wards and couple it with the Shackles. That way you actually hold your opponent in place while your Serpent Wards do the damage. The only problem is that combo costs a lot of mana. In fact, it's almost your entire mana pool to actually set it off, and that's why he needs that bottle charge. In the meantime, though, we do see Ancient Apparition being the first one to actually hit level 6 on the map, which means its ultimate is now in play. Keep your eyes open for ganking anywhere it goes. The ultimate, when it actually hits, stops the regeneration. And that is actually one of the biggest things, because obviously if you can continue to actually regen, then his ultimate wouldn't really be that amazing, because once you drop below 10%, then you actually die. There goes the ultimate. Be ready for it. Gush on Calculus. Power shot combination. You've really got to be careful for that. Now, first blood of ESWC on the live stream wasn't missed. Haha, snap, drinking game if I ever miss a kill. That's right. Drink responsibly, kids. as well as adults. TP coming up towards the top lane. This is what we're going to go for our counter gank. If Calculus can get close enough, Windrunner pops off her own self-titled ability, Windrun. And Miguel actually wanted to come in for this one. He's taking a lot of damage already. He's got to get out. 50 HP. Vengeful Spirit has already taken a fall here. Rise of Venomancer, and there goes our Shock. Shadow Shaman picks up 1. So even though they lost the first spot, and there's a 200 goal, Ancient Apparition misses the ultimate. Miguel able to get back there. It was nice try there by Sock. If they actually hit, Shadow Shaman would have actually died, and they would have actually got enough of a revenge. But the vision, there was basically nothing around here for them. They have 1 ward, but it's actually back here. So maybe it would have been a little bit better for Ancient Apparition just to wait a little bit longer. But the only problem he would have had then is if Shadow Shaman actually ran the lower road, it would have no vision of it all. So just a small amount out in the timing. The Sock goes back towards the middle lane. Rasta still hasn't actually come back just yet. He's actually headed all the way back to the main base, so filling up his bottle. No TP scroll for him as well. Can't buy one. He's actually only got 14 gold right now. So that's a long, long time that nobody's actually stopping the Ancient Apparition from getting farm. It's really going to help the Ancient Apparition to try and get towards that 4-star. He already helped out to get that first blood. And that really did help out his team. And that kind of has balanced out, even though it's 2-1. It's actually a weird thing we've been seeing in the current world of Dota. As far as kills actually go, they don't actually dictate the way the game actually ends. And it's fair enough too. If for people who are new to the world of Dota, there's an easy thing to actually explain. To win the game, there is actually only one thing you need to do. Kill the Ancient Fortress. So that's the one for the Dire, and that's the one for the Radiant. If you manage to kill those guys, you win the game. Everything else leads up to that point, but it's still basic, that all you need to do is kill the fortress. You're just going to try and work through everything else that goes to it. So Anti-Mage needs to get his farm. He needs to get that Battle Fury so he can actually go inside those neutrals. Windrunner needs to land perfect shackle shots when it comes to engagement. Tidehunter needs to get to level 6 for its Ravage. All this stuff starts to build up. But the core concept, destroy the fortress, win Ra. It's an easy core concept. Rise really harassing on that top lane. 2 levels on that Arcane Aura. So not Brilliant Aura. Brilliant Aura, of course, as I said, was the Warcraft 3 name for it. But it's Arcane Aura for this. And there's a Crystal Nova as well as Frostbite. So get them up on 1 level apiece. That gives the slow. That gives the stun. The stun duration, of course, is increased over time with the Frostbite. But yeah, in this case... Oh, hello, Ancient Apparition. Completely called out. Here's our first Serpent Ward hit, and Ancient Apparition ultimate going to fly down. It hits on Miguel, but he pops off the shackles. But Miguel stuck around a little bit too long. This will be the death of Shadow Shaman. He will shatter. That's why Sock did not waste the time to actually damage down more. He will, however, actually run past these Serpent Wards who are doing a lot of damage to him. While they do so, though, they waste time from attacking the tower. Sock wants to stay close enough where he can actually get the deny on the tower, but not going to be likely. Fortification actually going to buy them some time. Calculus can't get close. Tidehunter comes in from behind with a Vengeful Spirit. They need the stun. They don't use it, though, and the tower goes down the middle. So 2 heroes dead for the people I was actually talking about just then. You know what I'm talking about. For the Dire. Angel's also in the mix here. Mirana able to pick up the Vengeful Spirit. He's actually left that bottom lane. That's that haste rune that's helping him out there. Should be able to pick up Tidehunter. Gets one too. Triple kill for Angel. He actually picked up the Ancient Apparition who was walking back around here. That was the reason he actually died. So if we are actually going to go with the whole joint Dota philosophy of every single time I miss a kill, that is the time you actually should start drinking. Helps enjoy the games, guys. Helps enjoy the games. And of course, as always, drink responsibly. All right, 5-3. Let's check out our CS scores. That's something which a lot of people like to see. I'll try and bring this up as much as I possibly can during the competition. So Angel has actually been having a pretty good time so far. So 47 for 13 is this CS. You see it just around here. Oh, hello, top lane. A little bit too far in. Arrow. It's going to hit on the Tidehunter. This will spell the death here of 769. Power Shot will try and help out the Gush as well. Lets off one last Anchor Smash just to try and slow down Angel. And depending actually how Windrunner plays, this might actually be able to get the kill here on Angel, but it's hard to actually do so when the Anti-Mage is here. Blink goes down, they get the kill on the Vengeful Spirit. Still trying to get the kill on Angel, and Windrunner actually does get it right. Tries to Windrun out, gets Frost coned up, and then blocked by the creep wave, so loses all that ability of the extra speed. But Phase Boot's already completed, gives her the extra speed to get away. Not only is the extra speed, it's that the extra evasion you actually get basically makes it impossible to actually hit. So it'll pick up 1 kill for the, 2 deaths, which they actually just lost on the top lane. It's always about the world of trade. It's always about the world of trade. Also just noticed too, the stream did just go down for a second. Hopefully it'll be coming back up in just a moment too. And yep, there we go. The stream comes back up again, and there's a couple of spiking going out. There's actually three streams going out from this studio. Gush now on the top lane, very, very fast, blink away. Shadow Shaman in the meantime actually kills off the Ancient Apparition back in the middle lane. It's like actually combining up the Serpent Wards as well as his ultimate, as well as the Shackles to get that kill. It's a lot of damage very, very fast. In the meantime, Anti-Mage still hanging around on that top lane. He can't get in close. This is his problem right now with Windrunner there on that front line. Windrunner, actually interesting rushing up the mech. Mech not a bad item to actually go considering how much stability they really, really want. And she needs to give that to Doombringer when the team fights are going to start up. But a lot of Windrunners do actually like to actually play the positional play, so they go 4-staff very early on in the piece as well. But we'll see that coming out as a second item by the looks of it. Just headdress for the moment. Buckler will follow, and then the 900 for the recipe. Bottom lane looking to set up as well. Sock actually hanging inside the trees. Angel walks right in. He does the starfall. The Doom actually a little bit too late there, but the Doom will do enough damage to actually get the kill here on Angel. Sock's got to be careful not to lose his life right now. He's trying to damage. He will actually go down, but stick charges keep him alive. The Doombringers actually Doom kills off Mirana. Miguel will come down towards the bottom lane. Look for the Shackle. Calculus with a slow. And in we go. Sox once again. Cold feeding now on Calculus. And Venomancer should be actually be able to slither himself away fast enough to avoid dying. And that saves the Doombringer's life. The most important thing for Doombringer is not to die. So we actually see Doombringer. How's he actually going the bottom lane? Whoop, low, bit of a gush, bit of a frost, and really no one's going to die just then. Anti-Mage with that blink ability, so hard to actually kill him off. And we'll check out, as far as Doombringer on the bottom lane, 45 for 1. Not too shabby for him on that bottom lane, considering Mirana's been down there most of the time. And Mirana 56 for 14. And it's just the advantage you actually get when you're a ranged hero, but it's also just the control you get from Mirana. The Shadow Shaman has actually been roaming around, going down towards that bottom lane, makes life a little bit more difficult. Even see him just down there right now already on that bottom lane. Top lane, arrow will fly. Nicely done there by 769 to actually avoid it, but it's still not going to avoid his death right now. Anti-Mage popping off the ultimate to actually help with that kill. I don't think it was actually the last one to get that kill. It was either Angel or Rise didn't actually pop up with the screen saying who actually got that kill. TP support coming back up towards the top lane. We've got Smoke actually up for the Vengeful Spirit. Ancient Apparition. They're going to be looking for a kill. One stun right there on the Vengeful Spirit. Swap will actually start it off. And he needs to pop off that ultimate. Doesn't get it though, because in the end, Rise will actually just die, being killed off by Mirana. So it's a 1-1 trade once again. And Miguel's trying to run down. He's going to hit perfectly right here on the Shadow Shaman. The Ravage hits. A lot of damage taken. The ulti, however, not lasting there on Angel as well as Anti-Mage. Now the Starfall on Windrun. She has no mana when she pop off her own Windrun ability, and that's because Anti-Mage burns and Doom is in! And Doom is cast on the Anti-Mage. The gush on Angel. He's forced to pop off his ultimate. Everybody goes invis, but the Doom will still keep burning. They put down the slow, the damage, and Doombringer runs in. They find him, but the blink! Anti-Mage jumps over the top of the tree with his blink ability and gets himself out. Mirana, in the meantime, also bought up a TP scroll from the side shop and managed to escape. So Monkey really able to rally themselves out from that. That could have been horrendously bad if they lost Anti-Mage as well as Mirana during that fight. If you only have sound as well, hit Control F5 and your stream will start working again. Venomancer heading down towards the bottom lane there. Once again, just there for the runes or there for the push. Anti-Mage actually leaving that top lane now and heading down towards the bottom, which is actually completely unprotected right now. He doesn't need to be there to actually defend his tier 1 tower. But with Doombringer now up on that top lane, we got flying out right now. Doombringer actually also completed up a Vanguard as well as Strength Treads. Vengeful Spirit just going pure support. That's why we see Boots and then basically Ward and Ward. Counter Wards galore as well. Calculus getting called out. Oldie should be out. Oh, it's just chaining a little bit too far back. Didn't really do the damage. Still actually has the effect of the ultimate. Shadow Shaman kills off Vengeful Spirit on the top lane too, with Doombringer having to fall back. Titan actually TP's in right now. There's no Ravage. He lets off the gush on Rise. The tower is actually still alive, and Radiant actually use their fortification. Mirana able to actually kill off Tidehunter down the very, very end. And there should be the tier 1 tower go on the top lane as well. Fortification trying to buy them a little bit of time here. And the main time is because Windrunner's going to come up attempting the shackle shot. 4 HP for Rise. You lucky son of a devil. Shackle tried to actually hit there at Angel, but unfortunately for GG, wasn't able to actually latch on to Miguel. Shackle shot only has its power. Top lane. Double TP is going to come in. Windrunner want to actually get herself one shackle or stun, but already we've seen the fallback very, very fast there by the Dire. In the meantime, too, Anti-Mage having fun in that bottom lane. The tier 1 tower is gone, and he is pushing through. The defense call coming out from Monkey. They know the pressure is going to be coming from the Doombringer. Very, very hard to actually kill him off. Doom is already back up again. Devour is on cooldown, but Scorched Earth and Level Death, it is up. And of course, Level Death at level 2 right now, so anyone who's level 5, 10, at that point, they take any extra damage from that. So at this point, just checking through the heroes, Anti-Mage, of course, is actually going to be hurt the most from that, as well as Shadow Shaman, both at level 10. And Anti-Mage being on that bottom lane. We see Ancient Apparition down there. It's not a bad thing for him to be down there. He still actually has that global presence. Can throw that ultimate up. It's a lot of Venomancer wards. It's a lot of wards. You can only have 7 as max, though. They actually start to time out after that point. As in the amount of time like you actually cast a ward, cast a ward, cast a ward, you can get yourself up to 7 before they actually all start timing out. So 7 maximum wards, trying to defend that tower from Calculus, but unable to do so. Ward's only at level 3 as well, which doesn't really help. They don't have as many HP. And the attack damage is also a little bit lower. Windrunner now coming down towards the bottom lane. I think they're actually expecting, and now we're going to use the Mirana ultimate to actually initiate right now on Sock. And he is going to be initiated. The Shackle is there. The stick charge is not going to be enough. Power shot, Shackle shot, holds Anti-Mage in place, but it's a ward trap. No, it's not. There's a small gap there. Anti-Mage will just blink himself in, though. Slice and dice, man. Double kill for him. Magic missile stun there out there by Majumbas. The Vengeful Spirit, you can see him there as the name is MDJ. But Majumbas is his name. And they'll pick up 2 kills in that bottom lane. Both of them are for that Anti-Mage as well. There's one hero you never, ever, 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 ever want to give farm to. And that's an Anti-Mage. Doombringer, thinking about the mid right now. Anti-Mage is back in towards the middle lane too. He's loving this early aggression already with all the tier 1 towers gone for the rating. There's a lot of extra money. He's actually got Doomers cast on him. They need to get close enough for another gush, but they're not going to be able to. Doom about to wear off. A ultimate. It's got to hit properly. It does. Oh, he's not at 10% though. He will not die. Calculus might die. He pops up his Venomancer ultimate, and that should be enough to kill off the Tidehunter right now. Moving around inside the tree. Tidehunter unable to actually see him. It's that Fog of War. It's an absolute pain in the ass. Good Frost holding the Doombringer in place while the Anti-Mage sucking away all his mana. Doombringer goes down. So 2 casualties here for Virus. And we see Monkey with double the amount of kills. They're off to a good start here at the ESWC. Really, Monkey, one of the big favourites for me. They're one of the teams which I really think can actually get into the grand final. I put them up there with eHome. I put them up there with the crowd favourite of Orange. Na'Vi as well. I'm really interested to see their first game tomorrow. To see how well they've actually been training their boot camp over the last week. Just to see the type of form that's coming out from these teams. It's been a while since they've played Dota 2. The International was a long time ago. And they've been playing Dota 1 since then, preparing themselves for WDC, preparing themselves for SMM. And whatever other tournaments actually come to them. Invisibility. All right, so the stream is actually lagging a lot, so I'm just going to restart the stream off again. Ancient Apparition only will fly in towards the mid, so luckily the live recording will actually still keep on going, so the VOD won't actually be interrupted, and we'll drop the bandwidth down for our second game. And stream will now come back up again. So hopefully that's going to fix up a couple of issues for everybody. So now we see Virus smoke up. They will want to look for initiation. Miguel currently with an Invis rune. Basically, they get revealed instantly. They try to run up the mid, unable to do so. As that Sentry ward destroys off the wards for the Dire. In the meantime, Anti-Mage still having fun on that top lane. Bought Vanguard first, then went for Perseverance. Interesting build to actually go for the anti-mage. It's a very, very safe build to actually get that Battle Fury up a little bit later. At this point, he probably just wants it so he can actually help with the push. War going up in the middle lane. Just keeping eyes here on Calculus. AA Oldie's going to fly in. Actually goes right over the top. Looks like it might even actually been a check. Actually, no, it's because he got stunned up on the top lane. Anti-Mage Mirana must have actually distracted him, so the AA Oldie didn't actually hit there in the mid. They kind of needed that too to actually initiate for the middle lane. In the meantime, though, those two heroes will be more than enough to actually push down that tier 2 tower on that top. And Virus really can't afford to lose any more map control.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And now the tier 2 tower will go down. TP support. First one's going to come in. Second one as well. Windrun's the first one in. Mirana just walks back there with the anti-mage. Not much more they need to do at that point as well. They're already just harassing it down while they hold every single tier 1 bar, their top lane one in place. No one's really going to push. Serpent Wars already down in defense as well. So Monkey really not wanting to give up any map control. By holding on to it too, they have a lot more area for anti-mage to actually farm up. Angel to move around. She's almost completed up. Well, actually not. And it's not the Mana Star just yet. Initiation was on that middle lane. Surprisingly, she came a little bit closer towards those Serpent Wards, but Crystal Maiden was just sitting there, dying on the front lines. Mirana's actually TP'd in towards the middle lane. Calculus here as well as support. The Plague Wards come up, and they will now go on towards the tier 1 tower. Should be an easy kill right now, even with the fortification. Calculus will try and slow them down. Arrow misses on the hit, actually hits on one of the creeps. So it doesn't actually hit on the Vengeful Spirit. Tower able to actually be held right now. Venomancer with the wars and just Angel hanging around too. Miguel is finally now rejoined up towards that middle lane. The Virus really being stumped here for momentum. They're being pushed on multiple lanes, even the bottom lane's through. There's no tier 2 tower for them down there. They're one, the mid's pretty damaged as well. Miguel just finds Ancient Apparition as well as Vengeful Spirit in the middle there, just using an illusion to actually do that. In the meantime, they will see Calculus actually coming towards the mid lane. A very, very low killing game, could I actually say. Monkey, they're not really one of those teams that, well, they like to gank, but they're very, very calculated when they actually do their ganking. Whereas opposed to like Moscow 5, Na'Vi, those guys, they just like to basically kill everything on the board. It's really hard when you got a hero like Venomancer. The amount of wards just plan up, then you can't really push through. As you can see, they don't take that damage. You actually got to physically attack them. And it holds the creep wave back. Gives themselves some time to get their own creep wave down here. They want to initiate 2 already. There goes the Gale. Venomancer pops off the ultimate. Dies instantly. The AA ulti, everything else triggering off, but he already did his job. Ravage as well. They're looking for actually initiation here on the anti-mage. Mirana pops off the ultimate, but already Ancient Apparition goes down. Angel leaps himself in. They will pick up the Tidehunter as well. Shadow Shaman with the double kill. Angel has the Doom on top of him right now. Won't be enough damage to actually kill him off. Anti-Mage looking for any form of blood. Windrunner runs up. They actually get the stun there on the Vengeful Spirit. Anti-Mage just tanks up the tower. Drops down the ultimate as well, which destroys the remainder of the Vengeful Spirit's life. Shadow Shaman in just a moment wants to get that mana up to actually throw down those wards. He is 5 mana away. Now has the mana for it, so there goes the wards. We'll destroy this creep wave fast and then focus on the tower. So he's just going to focus straight on the tower straight away. And that should actually be enough to kill off the tier 2 tower in mid, which leaves only one left, and that's on the top lane. It's at half HP. And yes, I realize there's issues on the stream. We'll get them fixed up. There's nothing I can actually do about it right now. In fact, even lagging inside the game. Causing some issues. So hopefully the reconnect will come up in just a moment. And we'll just jump back into the game right now. So we'll also just reset off the streaming. So it should be now back in towards the game.
Is under attack.
Just enough time to actually watch the mid-initiation go off. Anti-Mage almost actually getting caught out then in the cold feet. Ancient Apparition only actually missing right now. Angel manages to hit an arrow there on the Doombringer. Anti-Mage still taking a lot of damage, but he's still also dealing a lot too. But it's Angel on the back end who is just ripping this Virus team apart. Doombringer trying to run back out again. Windrunner goes southeast. He's the only one left alive right now, and Angel is on the run. It's that double damage rune combined with the Manta style. And now Monkey really do need to push and try and get themselves a kill. And not even a kill, actually. Looks like they're going to go for Roshan. They want to get themselves a Rax. And they're going to pick up an Aegis the Immortal before they do so. Make the most of that DD rune before it wears off. There's only a couple of seconds left on it. But already Brett helps bring Roshan down to half HP. Holding him in place with the shackle. And just burn him and then turn him into a piglet. Roshan, even if he's a piglet, a frog, or a chicken, he will still give off the Aegis the Immortal, which gives life back to whoever holds it, whoever dies. And it's Anti-Mage who ends up picking it up. Took a couple of seconds just to decide he wants to pick it up, but he does get it in the end. So now back to what I was hoping wouldn't actually happen, but we are going to go back towards our World of Farm. And they'll wait for that right time to actually push off. Keep the pressure on the lanes, get them all pushed back out again. Anti-Mage. He's actually, I think that's a Manta Star flying out to him right now. Yeah, well, at least we have a Yasha. So Yasha's here, so it's not the completed thing just yet. And we'll take those TP scrolls as well. In the meantime, Ancient Apparition managed to actually kill Mirana on the top lane, obviously in combination with everybody else. So we had the Doom pop off then. Ravage actually didn't pop off, but we swap and Vengeful Spirit stun. Ancient Apparition managed to hold onto his ultimate for the moment too. In the meantime, they will actually think about pushing out this top lane Virus. All 5 heroes are up here, but the problem they've actually got right now is Monkey have better pushing power. The wards are up from Shadow Shaman, so that's going to make a run straight for that tier 3 tower on the mid, as well as Anti-Mage going to destroy off that bottom lane. So this is really not what Virus actually want to do. They are forced to TP back. Ancient Apparition is going to hit pretty nicely right now here, and Venomous is going to be really careful. He's actually going to die right now. Yep, there's a power shot to actually finish him off. It's overextending off a little bit. Anti-Mage, though, dealing damage down towards the tier 3 tower in the bottom lane. Got it down to half, then blinks himself back out again. Fearing the stun as well as swap there by VS. And then the TP goes back up towards the top lane. So Monkey realizing now players down with the Mirana getting caught out. They realize they weren't in a really great position. So the best thing you can actually do is just try and bluff your opponent. Push down the mid, push down the bottom. You're going to get a tier 2 tower, but we're going to damage and possibly take out your Rax. So, yeah, as far as trade goes, not the best one to actually do, and that's why we do see them fall back. So Virus need to keep control of these lanes. It's very, very similar to what Monkey actually tried to do up against Moscow 5 when they played them at the Intel Super Cup Challenge Grand Finals in Kiev, when that actually happened. But this is kind of what Monkey wanted to do. They just kept their lanes pushed. They tried to keep them pushed out, and when they saw an opportunity, then they would basically just line up the middle lane and just push right down. Pipe actually up now on the Radiant side. Arrow will fly, but misses on everything. There's wards up right now, too, so they can see them coming. And Anti-Mage wants to go in. He gets doomed up, stunned up. Ancient Apparition, good ultimate as well. Ravage combines it up. Anti-Mage still not dead just yet. We get locked inside a Frost Cone. He is still alive at the moment. The Doom is still actually niggling on him, but he will actually live through this. And 3 heroes go down for the Radiant side. Time to push. They manage to actually get a chicken up on Ancient Apparition. Anti-Mage just pops his ultimate. Tell me somebody's got a mech here for the Dire. Doesn't look like it. Rotating down towards the bottom lane. They can pick off the Doombringer as well. Close range arrow should be able to help out. Set up there by the CM stun. Entire genocide right now for the entire Radiant team.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So push these lanes in and we'll see a Raxing going down. And with those wards gone and the Rax gone, Radiant's fortification's going to try and slow it down for just a moment. But there's only 2 heroes up. Vengeful Spirit as well as Tidehunter. We're going to lose the tier 3 in the mid. And Melee Barracks will be the first target. Next creep wave won't spawn for another couple of seconds. But already, with the melee gone, it's going to give them those supersize me creeps. And then the fall back from Monkey. They don't want to overextend right now. If they lose too many heroes right now, they might leave an opportunity for Virus to actually get a couple of kills, push down the towers, get that money back in. Instead, there's a simple rotate up, and Mirana's doing the best thing she can do right now. Starfall, the creep wave, kill it off fast, get that tier 2 tower down, and really put Virus completely on the back foot.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And there goes our tier 2 tower. TP support actually coming in, trying to chain off the arrow, and she gets it perfectly too. Doombringer held in place for just a moment, but 1800 HP is really hard to bring down. Has managed to actually farm up that Sacred Relic at least. So that's some decent farm for the Doombringer for 30 minutes, but really, it needs to be a Radiance at this point if they actually had any chance of winning this. Manda style now being done on Anti-Mage. So many more resources coming in towards the Dire side. Even just check out our goal graph. Well, that just kind of explains it. So for the first 9 or so minutes, it was pretty balanced as far as money actually went. And it's just this slow push towards the Dire after a couple of towers went down. And we find ourselves at this point. Just to let you know too, we'll be dropping the stream shortly after this match. As we'll actually switch our network lines towards our second backup line. And hopefully we'll be fine on that line. So yeah, stick around. We will actually be back again after this match actually ends. I'd like to say, whoop, hang on, I got to hit my button so I actually see everybody's view. It's really hard right now for anyone from the Radiant to actually get anything off. They really lack, they lack initiation. They lack the power in the team fights. There's just so much stability that can come out from this entire Dire side. We've got stuns, we've got slows, we've got good DPS, we've got a crap load of mana, we've got escape mechanisms through the Mirana ulti, not to mention initiation mechanisms through the Mirana ulti. Mech being up on the Crystal Maiden, they get life regen straight out from that. All they're basically missing right now is a pipe to cancel off the effects of the Ancient Apparition ultimate. Shadow Shaman in the end decided, you know what, I'm not going to go pipe, I'm not going to help support you in that way. Gets an Aghanim Scepter, which boosts up the strength of his ultimate. It's almost level 16 too, so a level 3 ultimate with an Aghanim Scepter upgrade. Really, really hurts. Extra damage, extra wards. Extra life on the wards too, I believe. So Miguel just comes down. Just watch for the shock just to remove the majority of the life from the creep wave. They're going to time this push pretty nicely as well, while the mid is not pushing through completely yet, so Virus won't really look at it going, hang on, that's a bit of a problem for us. The next creep wave is going to come in pretty soon, and that's going to cause the problem. So the timing is right. Miguel already dropping down the Venomancer Wars, so just focusing on that tier 3 tower right now. It's not enough just yet. Anti-Mage being held in place for the moment. It's that Shackle which is holding there, as well as the Frost. Finally, he gets back out of it. But the mid is now pushed through. Virus is on the back foot, trying to fight from behind their barracks right now. But Anti-Mage just blinks in, wipes the mana away from Titan, so he actually can't even pop off his Ravage. He doesn't have the mana for it. He tried to pop off the Sick Charger so he got his mana back again, but it was not fast enough. Doom is now on the Anti-Mage, but he just sucks the life and the mana right out of the Windrunner. Held in place for the moment, but Miguel was there to actually help out. He already popped off his own BKB, so nothing was going to interrupt him. The mid is now gone, the bottom is gone, and they will rotate up towards the top lane to finish that off as the creep wave has now just entered as well. They'll kill off the tower. They do actually have a siege creep in support. Shackle shot hits there on Miguel as well as Angel. Got to actually line up the power shot. Anti-Mage, actually a good stun coming out there from the Vengeful Spirit. Then Venomancer pops off the ultimate. It might actually be enough to bring down the Doombringer. Still nobody dead just yet. Anti-Mage running around at 100 HP. But it's because he's got the Aegis more, so he fears absolutely nothing right now. Needs to get close enough. There goes the blink. 1 slice, 2 slice, 3rd slice will actually get the dice. And that is basically the death there of Virus. Titan pops off the Ravage. He tries to pick off Calculus, but the shock, and there goes our top lane. So the GG call will come out in just a moment. It'll be officially ended. The game actually does have to be officially ended. There is a time ranking for this. So you need to actually try and win this game as fast as you can. But the first game will actually end up going to the Dire. It is to Monkey, so they will take out the first game, 35-12. And in about 35 minutes was the time it actually took them to actually do it. Really convincing play coming out from them. Good pushing lineup mixed with a good bit of ganking. And then, of course, the late game carry. So as far as the drafting actually goes, really worked out nicely for Monkey. Taking a bit of everything, but also works together. So it's always a big challenge when you actually have your draft. Do you actually go for the early game? Do you go for the mid game? Do you go for the late game? Late game option Anti-Mage. Actually probably going to be a good AAL. They're going to get a couple of kills right now. But it's not going to matter because the Fortress is dead. And that spells the end of our game. As I was telling you as well, we will actually be back in just a moment. And that will be to restart the stream because we are lagging up quite considerably right now. So just wait for the moment. And yeah, we will be back very, very soon. Of course, it's the ESWC coverage coming from myself, Tobi1. Our next game coming up will actually be eHome versus SGC. Stick around. We'll be back in just a moment.